Welcome. We're going to get started with our program. We have so much to share with you tonight, so we want to get started and stay on time. I'm Mary Elizabeth Elliott with CADCA, and it's my honor to bring up Nat Sutton, who is an outstanding member of our board and the chair for the Drug-Free Kids campaign. With Heidrick and Struggles, Nat Sutton.
I have to take my glasses off to read. Tells you you're getting old, no? Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. That's it. Geraldine tells me we're going to have a good time this evening, so I want to make sure that we start off right. He tells me that I've got to establish the tone for tonight's dinner, so have fun with me. Truly, it's my honor to welcome you to CADCA's 14th annual Drug-Free Kids campaign dinner. We're here tonight to celebrate the wonderful work going on in communities around the country and in 17 countries by CADCA and more than 5,000 community coalitions it represents. Whether it's a rural town in West Virginia, a suburb just outside of New York, or downtown Atlanta, CADCA and its network of coalitions are curbing substance abuse rates and building safer communities. They're touching real lives and creating real change, one of the themes of this evening's program. But none of the work is done in a vacuum. It requires support from all levels and from all types of leaders. As campaign chair, I'd like to thank all of those who donate to CADCA's Drug-Free Kids campaign. And beyond this special night, I encourage all of you to continue on this journey with us. You'll find on your table tonight a form, I guess, and what you are supposed to do is to fill it out and send back a contribution. So we're going to keep this program going all year, and we're going to continue to ask for money. You know, we were talking in our meeting today about the difficulty, really, in raising money. And as the campaign chair this year, I can tell you how difficult it has been. So we need your help, and we need you to talk to your friends. But we also need you, when you think about giving at Christmas time, to include us in the organizations that you give to. We'd really appreciate it. And if you'd like for me to remind you, I'll leave my cards at the door. You can pick up one, and I'll be sure to remind you. Tonight, we're honoring several distinguished leaders who understand the value of investing in substance abuse prevention and who recognize the power of the coalition movement. You'll hear more about them as we go through our program this evening. Guiding us tonight, and perhaps most importantly, keeping us on time. Last year, I think I said that, you know, when you're on a board with the general, as we are with General Dean, time is very important. We start our meetings on time, we end our meetings on time, and we're aware of time. So tonight, I'm sure, will be no different. But I want to introduce you to Pat Lawson Muse, who is our host for this evening. Some of you may recognize Pat from News 4, Channel 4, where she anchors News 4 at 4 with Jim Handley and hosts a Reporter's Notebook, a weekly public affairs program. She also files reports for News 4's afternoon and evening newscast, and is the host for News 4 this week. There's a lot of News 4s, no? A weekly show highlighting stories from Washington, D.C. area. I was telling my brother that I was going to have the chance to introduce Pat tonight, and he said, she is all over News 4. So I really realize now how much she's over News 4. Miss Lawson Muse has won several Emmy Awards, including 2 Best Anchor statues. Tonight, we can add Mistress of Ceremonies for the Drug-Free Kids campaign to her list of long accomplishments. and we thank her for giving so graciously of her time. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to present Pat.
It's a lot of news for.
Thank you. Thank you, Nat. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to be with you tonight. I'm delighted to be with you for more reasons than one. And Nat, had I known you were going to read all of that, I would have spared you the trouble. I am honored to be with you to represent NBC4, which has been my home for the past 30 years. Yes, I've worked there for 30 years. And no, I'm not that old. I started at a very early age. But over the years, I've gotten a chance, obviously, to see the impact of the scourge of drugs and alcohol abuse on our young people and our communities, and so I can really appreciate the work that you're doing and the impact that it's having here and around the world. So I thank you tonight that you joined us for the celebration of real lives and real change. We are going to, this evening, honor the contributions of 3 game-changing leaders who represent a commitment to drug-free kids, past, present, and future. We recognize that young people across the nation are being empowered and their lives are being transformed. They're being turned into leaders through CADCA's National Youth Leadership Initiative, or NYLI. As a journalist, I have seen the ravages of drug abuse firsthand. I'm also a pastor's wife. My husband is the pastor of a 2,000-member church in Southern Maryland. And we've been in ministry together for 23 years, and I can tell you that when you're pastoring a church of any size, you see the problem firsthand, and you deal with the impact head on. As a member of this community and as a person of faith, I have seen, as the general describes, this Goliath problem in every community. So we all know that the old adage, it takes a village to raise a child, may be a bit overused, but it is certainly true. CADCA coalitions really represent that village, and that is why we celebrate tonight.